My name is Lilian Mohlala. I am going to be presenting to you today assignment 1 and 3 on CDD 711 module. I'm going to start with my introduction on slide 1. My introduction is, I've said that the presentation will be focusing on curriculum problems identified in assignment 1. We are going to be looking at the imbalances between outdated and current curriculum, rapid technology changes, job market gaps, proposed solutions with an aim to close the gaps and to improve student performance. On slide 2, we are going to be looking at overview of assignment 1, where I have identified 5 curriculum changes in my college. The 5 identified curriculum changes were high student failure rate in ODP level 2 NCV program. ODP stands for Office Data Processing. Outdated subject guidelines that was last revised in 2014. Curriculum misalignment with industry. Inadequate lecturer training and consultations with stakeholders inclusive of lecturers, students and industry. On my slide 3, I am going to be looking now at the problems that encountered in students failing ODP. We said, why are the students struggling with ODP? They are struggling with speed typing and manuscript. Manuscript is where students are supposed to be identifying codes within a sentence where they will be able to form words with those codes. So if students are unable to interpret those codes, they are not going to be able to understand what is written, and that will impact on their progress when they are supposed to write exams and test or assessment in class. We are looking at underprivileged background from those students. Those are some of the reasons why they are struggling to actually type fast and to also understand the manuscripts. Lack of early exposure to technology, because most of the students are coming from rural areas where they don't have that exposure when it comes to technology. So when they come to colleges, they will be starting all from the beginning to actually interact with a computer. Hence, they're struggling to type quickly and to also understand the manuscripts. And the results of the above mentioned challenges will be poor college performance. The outdated curriculum in slide 4 is talking about the ODP curriculum that was last revised in 2014, meaning that from the time that it was revised to date, it's 11-year gap. So you can imagine with this technology that is rapidly changing, that the gap that you are having within the content that we're teaching our students will not align with the requirements that is actually being stated by industry. Hence, they are struggling with the modern office technologies that we are supposed to match with office with industry. Limited exposure to current industry tools will be a challenge as well, because now our computers are still outdated. They have the old curriculum software which doesn't align with the new curriculum requirements. Computer labs require updating because they're outdated as well. Industry alignment to and relevance. Curriculum is partially relevant. This is the information that we received from lecturers when we're interacting with them, trying to find out whether the curriculum is that much outdated. They said that even though it is outdated, at least there are some parts within the topics of that particular subject where it's still relating to what industry is still offering. So it's not all lost hope. There is something that students can still benefit from the old curriculum. It lacks integrated modern office software. Industry feedback highlights the skill gap as well. English proficiency to students and collaboration with industry that is very much required. So what it means here is it means that the curriculum that we are actually teaching our students lacks that technology that is required by the softwares that are actually being used by industry. And when we are communicating with them, they gave us feedback that there is a big gap between us and them. That is why when students are coming to the offices, they are unable to perform certain duties that they are supposed to, particularly when it comes to operating the systems. And they are not able to articulate themselves well in English. So we meaning that we need to do something when students are at our colleges, where we give them more information regarding English so that they can improve. And we also need to collaborate with industry. Lecturer development. They were last trained in 2017 when we communicated with them that they don't have frequent development from the college. what they do as colleges, as staff members, is that they will collaborate with each other so that they can get that peer teaching, where they will actually develop each other on certain subject or topics that they don't understand. They will rely on each other to get such information. This is due to limited financial constraints from the college, but then still, even though we don't have that money, we need to upskill our lecturers. We need to have that continuous upskilling, because it is important for them to get that information, for them to be able to be proficient with what they are teaching. Limited consultation with stakeholders. We've seen that we normally don't communicate much with our stakeholders, hence we wanted to have that consultation so that we get to understand what are their challenges when they teach their students. Lecturers said that they struggle to teach the current skills because now they are the two worlds are not meeting. The world that we are in as colleges and the world in which the industry is actually now being testing themselves to be at. Now these two they are not aligning, in a sense that our curriculum is outdated, as I've mentioned in the previous slide, that it was last revised and implemented in 2014. So you can imagine the gap that we have for us to be able to reach or to meet the standard that has been set by the industry. Student lacks exposure to industry and limited practice because they are failing this ODP, and it's because of time that is limited for them to be able to practice thoroughly, to grasp that information that they require, particularly to increase their speed and also to understand the coding of manuscript. Lack of exposure, they normally don't go to industry to go and learn how industry is actually doing things. It's only some few students that are selected to go for wheel, where they will get that exposure, and still, because things are not properly structured, they don't get all the information that they require. Industry stated that student English needs to improve, and that they perform. The students are exhibiting that sense of not being ready to work, so they are not satisfied with how students are performing when they're at their workplace. Number 8 will be delving more onto assignment number 2, where I'm going to be looking at the broader issues and causes that were identified in that particular assignment. We know that we are supposed to be discussing about the articulations of subjects. We are going to be articulating in terms of the reasons, the purpose, and the rationale behind this assignment. So for us to be able to understand the structural analysis, we said that mostly it is the misalignment of curriculum in the industry that causes limited industry involvement, and the cause for that is limited industry involvement at curriculum review. Our curriculum is outdated, so we need to review it. Outdated theory because of the syllabus that is old as well. Lecturers are not exposed to modern practices. This was also elaborated in my assignment 1 when we're talking about lecturer development. We also received weak feedback between college and industry, because when students are getting to industry, they're not being able to perform according to the expectations of the industry. This impacts the impact on this will be reduced student employability and industry trust, because industry will not be able to trust our students when they come to their place of work for job knowledge. Then we'll be looking at assignment 3 under curriculum solutions. The curriculum solutions was also about the 5 key proposed solutions. From the proposed solutions, we're looking mostly on what is it that we can do as a college to improve. But then we've realized that what is actually lacking is a teaching and learning method for us to improve typing and manuscript. We also need to benchmark with other colleges to update or improve outdated syllabus. Blended theory with practice, where students will have the mock-up office simulations. Prioritize lecturer development so that they are able to teach the students with the knowledge that is current. Establish an industry advisory committee, where whenever we are to review our curriculum, we will also invite stakeholders from industry to come and assist us, so that we know what we need to incorporate or include in our curriculum. Best solutions that the best solution that I have chosen was lecturer development, and the rationale behind it was that skilled lecturers improve quality teaching and learning. What actions are we going to take to ensure that we foresee this? We are going to identify free online digital training for our lecturers so that they can improve. We are also going to solicit some funds from CETAs so that we can have that lecturer development, because we need to sustain that. We are going to be introducing quarterly digital training and create a cross-campus lecturer collaboration so that lecturers can learn from each other as well, since we are currently unable to give them what they deserve as a college due to lack of finances. What are the expected solutions of this? Confident in and skilled lecturers can deliver. Industry-relevant content will assist the college to improve. Our student learning will also improve and will have increased student employability. In conclusion, I've said that there is no institution that can exist without problems. Problems occur in different forms. The most important action to be developed is effective measures and strategies that we're going to try and close these challenges. After having identified the root and cause of the problem, we will know exactly what we need to do, and this will ensure that we progress and improve as a college in our performance. Lastly, I would like to say thank you so much for listening to my presentation.